1. The real secret to attraction: master yourself first. Let me tell you something that no one else will. Forget everything you think you know about dating, about relationships, about how to attract women. The truth is, it's not about being good-looking, rich, or even the smoothest talker. It's about mastering yourself. If you want any woman to truly fall for you, you first need to master your emotions, your actions, and most importantly, your mind. You see, most men fail here, and that's why they're left feeling overlooked, rejected, or ignored. They haven't learned the most important thing. They can't control other people, but they can control themselves. Imagine if you could walk into any situation, any conversation, and feel unshaken by whatever happens. Imagine having so much emotional control that no matter how a woman behaves, whether she's distant, cold, or even dismissive, you remain calm, composed, and confident. That's the real key to attraction. Not games, not tricks, but self-mastery. 2. The power of emotional control. Here's the truth no one wants to talk about. Women aren't looking for men who can't control their emotions. Women don't fall for men who panic when they're ignored or rejected. They fall for men who remain unshaken in the face of adversity. Men who don't let external circumstances dictate their inner state. Emotional control doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It doesn't mean becoming some emotionless robot. It means not letting your emotions control you. When you master your emotions, you stop reacting to things outside of your control. Instead, you stay grounded and composed, no matter the situation. Women are naturally drawn to men who are in control of their emotions because it signals strength and stability. If you're constantly reacting to her behavior, constantly seeking her approval, you're not showing strength, you're showing insecurity. On the other hand, if you're calm, collected, and unwavering, that draws her in. She sees a man who's not dependent on her validation, and that's power. 3. The stoic approach to handling rejection. Rejection hurts. We've all been there. But here's the key. Rejection is not about you. It's about how you handle it. In the world of modern dating, women test men. They test you by pulling away, by becoming distant, by ignoring your texts. And they do it for one reason: to see how you react. When you react emotionally, when you chase after her, beg for her attention, or spiral into self-doubt, you lose. But when you respond with emotional control, when you don't let her actions dictate your worth, that's when you win. Think about it. When you stop reacting, when you stop chasing, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability is attractive. Women don't want a man who will always chase after them. They want a man who is so grounded in his own value that he's not moved by their behavior. This is where Stoicism comes in. Stoic philosophy teaches that we can't control other people, but we can control how we respond. When a woman ignores you, when she pulls away, don't chase after her. Don't send another text. Don't overthink it. Instead, focus on controlling your emotions and your reaction. Show her that you're unaffected, and that's when she'll start to feel drawn to you. 4. Stop playing the game, start becoming the prize. Here's a critical shift that most men fail to make. You're not here to play the game. You're here to win it. And the way to win is not by chasing, impressing, or playing some sort of emotional chess. It's by becoming the kind of man who is so secure in himself that women are naturally drawn to him. When you stop seeking her approval, you stop losing yourself in the process. The more you chase after her, the more you give her control over your emotions and your state of being. But the moment you stop chasing and focus on becoming the best version of yourself, that's when you start attracting everything you've ever wanted. Not just women, but success in all areas of your life. It all comes down to one thing: self-mastery. When you master yourself, when you stop reacting to everything around you, you become a man who commands respect. Women, men, everyone. You'll start to notice people treating you differently. And that's because you've become the man you were always meant to be. 5. The art of calm confidence. Imagine this. You walk into a room, a meeting, or a date. While others are fidgeting, nervously trying to make a good impression, you're calm, centered, and fully present. You don't need to prove yourself. You're not looking for approval. You know who you are, and you're confident in that. That's the power of calm confidence. It's not about being arrogant or loud. It's about being comfortable in your own skin, knowing that you don't need anyone's validation to feel good about yourself. Women find this incredibly attractive because it shows that you don't rely on anyone else to feel validated. You are your own source of strength. When you exude calm confidence, you stop chasing. You stop worrying about whether she's into you or not. You just show up as your best self, and that's enough. Women are drawn to this kind of energy. Why? Because it's rare. Most men are desperate for validation, but the man who doesn't need it stands out. 6. Mastering the power of silence. In the world of dating, silence can be one of your greatest tools. When a woman pulls away, when she goes silent, most men panic. They start texting more, trying to get her attention, asking what went wrong. But here's the thing, when you do nothing, you take back the power. Silence is not about ignoring her out of spite. It's about showing her that you're not emotionally dependent on her response. When you stay calm, centered, and silent, you send a message that you don't need her approval. You don't need her attention. And that's when she starts to wonder why you're so different. Silence also allows you to focus on what truly matters, your own growth. Instead of wasting your energy on someone who is not reciprocating, you pour that energy into yourself. You go to the gym, you focus on your career, you work on your goals, and that's when you become the man who is truly magnetic. 7. The stoic man doesn't beg. Here's a lesson that every man needs to learn. Don't beg for what you deserve. Most men think that if they beg for attention, affection, or love, they'll get it. But begging only shows desperation, and desperation is never attractive. A stoic man doesn't beg. He doesn't chase. He doesn't apologize for being who he is. He owns his actions and his emotions. He stands by his values and doesn't waver based on someone else's behavior. When a woman pulls away, the stoic man steps back. He doesn't panic. He doesn't send multiple texts or over-explain. He remains composed and in control of his emotions. When you stop begging, you stop putting yourself in a position where someone else controls your happiness. You take full responsibility for your emotions and your state of mind. You don't let anyone dictate how you feel, and that is power. 8. The art of patience. Mastering the waiting game. Patience is often mistaken for passivity, but it is one of the most active skills you can develop. In a world obsessed with immediate results, waiting can feel like a weakness. But in reality, the ability to endure and wait without succumbing to frustration or anxiety is a power that few truly master. Patience allows you to make decisions with clarity, not emotion. It's the ability to step back, observe, and take calculated action when the time is right, rather than rushing in headfirst and making impulsive decisions. When you practice patience, you stop trying to force things to happen and start allowing them to unfold naturally. Patience doesn't mean sitting idle or waiting for opportunities to fall into your lap. It means knowing that everything has its time. And while you're waiting, you're working. You're preparing yourself for the moment when it arrives. It's about building your strength in the silence, in the moments where nothing seems to happen, knowing that in time, your efforts will pay off. When you master patience, you show the world that you're in control of your actions, your emotions, and your life. You demonstrate that you understand timing is everything. In relationships, in business, and in life, those who can remain calm under pressure and trust in the process are the ones who ultimately succeed.